Yo, what's up boys? Today I'm going to show you how to make this kind of cool Jphelpz squishy kind of liquidy rhythm type shit. So I'll play this remix I got going on. Akira Jphelpz Black Knight. Fucking awesome tune, dude. So it sounds like it's a lot going on, but really it's not. It's fairly simple. This is the sound by itself. Now if I take all these other things I got going on here, sounds like shit. Still has some character to it though. Alrighty, so as far as the patch goes, right here, oscillator 1 off, oscillator 2, don't really matter which one you put this one on. Modern talking, bin plus, pitch at -9, wavetable position, pretty much all the way at 1, all the way up, intensity all the way up, amp all the way up. I have an LFO and a vibrato modulation going on right there, little macro. As far as modulation, OSC, got the pitch at -9 to match this. Ring mod is on oscillator 2, and it is at 0.69. I also have the vibrato going on there. Ouch, just hit my fucking arm. Feedback, we're putting it at 0.68, just a tad bit on the feedback, because that'll distort the audio and fuck the whole sound up. But it does sound kind of cool if you put a little bit on there. Insert 1, we got a bit crush. Dry wet is at 0.60. Crush is at 0.69. And sign shaper, we have a dry wet at 0 and the drive at 0.15. As far as the LFOs go on there, you put the drive about halfway up, and as far as LFO on dry wet, you can put it a quarter of the way up. So filter 1, band reject. The cutoff is at about 0.62, bandwidth halfway, resonance at 0.57, and we have LFOs going to both of these. As far as the cutoff, more than halfway, resonance quarter of the way, and for the vibratos, you got one going to the left side on cutoff, and then we have one going to the right on resonance. I'd say about a quarter on both of those. Filter 2 is a double notch. We have the cutoff at about 0.33, resonance at 0, NA at NA because it's not available. As far as LFO, halfway on cutoff, quarter of the way with the vibrato, and as far as the resonance, we have a quarter of the way on both, but the vibrato is just a tad less. Amp, you got LFO 6 going to the amp, and as far as the FX, you have a classic tube, dry wet at about 0.07, drive at 0.329, not available, not available. At the dimension expander, dry wet at about 0.15. At size you have 119, and EQ, pretty much everything is at 0.63. Bit halfway more boosted. I mean, you can kind of fuck with all these modules, to be honest with you. You might get something completely different. So starting with LFO 5, we're going to put it at a 1:1 ratio, X fade in the middle. Sync and restart is on, and don't fuck with it. It's just kind of gonna sit right here. It's gonna look like a camel's back. It's okay, it's normal. 6 LFO, we get kind of a weird thing going on here. Not really, it's pretty much the same thing, except that the bottom one is going a little bit off and filling in this gap right here. So the rate is at about 0.64, and this is gonna give it the movement on the amp itself. Now if we play it, let's see here, and I'll show you something. That's what it normally sounds like with this rate all the way up, and at 1:1. Now if I play with the ratio over here on the LFO 5, so you can kind of get a little bit more movement going on, but it also mimics the other one, and it kind of clashes. That's why I leave it at 1:1. Pitch also all the way down. Gonna get that gritty, muddy sound. The actual bars where we at. We are at B4 on both of them. And that's about it. We also do have this vibrato thing going on here, so every DAW is different, but the way you would control that with a macro is if you press this button right here, and then you press that button right there, and you see it kind of triggered that. So next thing you do, right click, create automation. And what that's going to do is bring up a long bar, and you can kind of fuck with it a little bit, make some curves, bend some boards, you know what I mean? Anyways, now we're going to the filters. I use a fruity delay too, or you can use delay on pretty much everything you want. Delay sounds fucking awesome, and if anybody tells you differently, they're not your friend. So as far as the time goes, it's about 0.13. About 0.11. You can kind of mess with the time in very, very small increments. It gives you really cool sounds. Very metallic. As far as the reverb goes, adjust it to your liking. I kind of got it on a smaller reverb, so that way it's not like fattening out everything else. Sausage fattener, we got it at 0.70, 0.50, actually no, 0.60, 6%. And color at 15%. I got a parametric EQ, it's just cutting off this low end right here, so we don't have anything clashing. I got a fruity limiter on here for compression, that way it's not jumping over the green line. There it is, it fucking jumped over again. Fruity blood overdrive, this is pretty much distortion. Now, I like to add just a tad bit, maybe a halfway up. I don't like to add a lot of distortion, especially with blood overdrive, because it's very powerful and it completely destroy stuff. So yeah, fruity stereo enhancer. You got to really play with this one. I like it at the volume, about more than halfway almost. Right and post. And if you play with the stereo separator, if you put it towards this plus sound, it's gonna have it separates through the left and right. Now, if you put it towards the minus side, it kind of brings it in your face. And with weird kind of liquidy rhythm sounding shit, you want it to spread as much as possible. That sounds disgusting. Anyways, I know this was a painful tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more shit like this, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.